Back to Ozarks tonight. The Springfield chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America will host an open meeting this Thursday for those interested in learning more about the organization and volunteer opportunities. Due to recent events that have brought gun violence once again to the forefront of our conversations, like the El Paso and Dayton, Ohio incidents, and one incident here in Springfield where an armed man showed up to a local Walmart. We are learning more about the group and their mission here on Ozarks tonight. With us, we have Jean Knapp and Judith Peavy, and they're both with the local group here in Springfield. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
I want to get started talking about Moms Demand Action. For those at home who haven't heard about your group and what you do, explain who you are.
Okay, well, Moms Demand Action is actually under the umbrella of Every Town for Gun Safety, and that came out of the massive, horrific shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. And then there was a mom, Shannon Watts, who basically she was a stay-at-home mom. She was just appalled about that, about the lives that were lost as children. And she started an online conversation about it, and she got so many responses that she decided it was time to start this organization. So it started up in some of the bigger cities throughout the country. In 2016, there was, in Missouri, there was a chapter of Moms Demand Action in St. Louis, Kansas City, and Columbia. I think pretty much were the three. And then people started wanting to branch out to more of the rural areas and to Springfield and Joplin and Cape Girardeau. So the head of the Moms of Missouri group came down to Springfield in 2016 at the library and did a whole presentation on Moms Demand Action and really urged us to start a chapter here in Springfield. So a few of us stepped up to the plate and started it, and it's been growing ever since.
And you were telling me you have a pretty large number of volunteers and you meet monthly. Tell me about your membership, how that works. When do you get together and what types of things are you doing?
During those monthly meetings, we often learn more about the issues that we're dealing with, learning more facts, learning more about solutions to gun violence. So we educate. Part of our meeting is usually education. We also talk about events that we have in the works. Some of those events might be our safe, secure gun storage program, setting up tables at events for that. Setting up our tables at events where we've been invited to spread the word about moms, participating in parades, visiting our state and federal legislators' offices to talk about gun sense policies that we want them to support. And we also advocate once a year in Jeff City when all of the moms in our red shirts descend upon the Capitol. And we have congenial meetings with all of our representatives up there.
We also at our meetings have a legislative lead, and he keeps up on all the laws that are being discussed up in Jeff City and in the U.S. Senate and legislative, but mostly Jeff City. And so he will talk to us about what gun laws are coming up that we want to support and what gun laws that we want to urge our senators and representatives to not support.
So even though the group is called Moms Demand Action, it's not just for moms.
That's right. We have dads, grandfathers, uncles. Yes, we have a lot of men in our group as well.
And even people who are not parents, who are not moms.
Yes, we have young people in our group. We have all ages.
Mm-hmm. And we are nonpartisan, and we are grassroots. So since we're nonpartisan, we look at the issue as an issue that we should all be concerned about, no matter what political affiliation. And we want gun owners, we want people of all political persuasions to join together in order to fight gun violence.
Right, and one of the things that's misleading, that people think that we are all about taking away the Second Amendment, and we are not. We are about gun safety, closing deadly loopholes, supporting reasonable limits on where, when, and how loaded guns are carried, and creating enforceable laws that address gun trafficking and fraudulent purchasing to keep illegal guns off the streets.
So you were not 100% anti-gun. You were for legislation, stricter legislation, more background checks.
Yes, the fact is that Moms Demand Action in every town, we are an evidence-based organization, so the policies that we push for are based on the evidence as we have it best right now. So that's why we push for closing the private sale loophole for background checks, because doing so has been associated with a decrease in gun homicides and gun violence in general. Some of the other laws that we are pushing are associated with decrease in suicides, decrease in domestic violence killings. So, and those are based on reputable research, published for all to see and pick apart if need be. And that's how our organization determines our stances.
And there's some interesting statistics. It says that 60% of gun owners and 77% of the population, both Democrats and Republicans, support the red flag laws, which is protection from extremists. So they allow family members and police to basically take guns away from individuals that are a detriment and are a risk either to themselves or to others. And it doesn't mean that eventually they can't get the gun back when they are deemed to be safe. So it just makes sense.
If people are interested in finding out more and continuing this conversation with you, finding out more about your group and the policies you're pushing for, can you tell me the details about the meeting you have this Thursday and then where they can find you online?
Mm-hmm. Our meeting this Thursday is at, which is tomorrow, is at 6:30 at Schweitzer Brentwood Library in the community room. And the way they can sign up for it or find out more about it is to go to the Moms Demand Action Missouri Facebook page.
Jean Knapp, Judith Peavy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be right back with more right here on Ozarks Fox.